Welcome to Gen X Rated Saturday edition. We got Tim back and Uncle Bill. How's it going today?
Good.
Great. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go there, Tim.
Well,
Too soon.
I just kind of, going back to the name of the show, Gen X, I figured, that might ring a few bells for a few people. Honestly, I appreciate being asked to join. Another time, I'm going to start feeling like the old uncle that visited and won't go home.
We'll let you know, okay?
Yeah.
You sleep on the recliner.
I would appreciate that, but no, I appreciate it being back, and I always try to compliment and say things about what you guys have been doing, and I've always liked the entry and the exit music. I don't know where you got that, but it's very catchy and very head bobby.
Well,
it is.
It's copyrighted, but we're allowed to use it. It was hard to use any other music, but you can go on the internet and find stuff that people allow you to use.
Well, I think it's a great choice. It's always been very catchy. So
well, I appreciate that. Excellent feedback, Tim.
That's my last compliment for the cast. So
we got nothing else. Uncle Bill, how's your morning going?
Morning's gone, buddy. But
How
it's
was
been
your
good.
morning?
Huh? It's been good.
How
I
was
got
your
the
morning?
grass cut. Did some did a little bit of landscaping, and yeah,
damn.
Right.
Here we are.
Well, that sounds pretty fantastic. It is Saturday, but there is some stuff to still talk about. It all starts with, well, we can start anywhere you want. I'm going to put up this here. This is Maxwell's new home and prison. I know she's a terrible person. I know that she affected many victims, but somehow she got moved from Florida high security with barbed wire to this lush confines in Texas. It's Bryan Resort, more or less. I don't know what you want to call it, but somebody had to pull some strings to get her there. There are no real walls. You are checked in on 5 times a day, but for the most part, you can do a lot of things there. Physical fitness, yoga, music classes, movies.
Pickleball?
Appropriate to anybody?
Yeah, you'd think she was a CEO. Being in that kind of prison.
I mean, go ahead. Here's another aerial view of this place. A lot of green space, which is nice for people.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on that, Tim?
Well, I think that what she did is so disturbing that you wonder if, and not related to this podcast by any means, but you wonder if giving her any time to even talk about her is even worth the breath or worth the words. And, I don't know. It's just hard to talk about it because why is this in any way, shape, or form acceptable? And why is this any way, shape, or form, should just be rotting somewhere? Why do we have to pander to her? And again, it's not that I want to forget about it or I don't want to talk about it. I just don't know if that's doing it a service by giving her still time for us to even think about her.
Well, you need the time because she will be pardoned. I think that seems pretty obvious that that's the route we're going. She's protecting a lot of people. The main one is the leader of our country. I mean, that's just what it is. He got the waiver for her to be moved to this cush place. It starts with that. Also, at this facility, there's no camera or recording devices allowed inside the camp, or whatever you want to call it, which, again, is very strange for somebody that had hundreds of victims that she participated in with the rape. And every time I put this guy up, I'm not a violent person. When I see him laughing with Trump in that one video and I see the shape of his head, it looks like something you want to bash in. And I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's extremely upsetting what he did to these families and these children, because they were children. And if we're going to allow this to go on by freeing this person who recruited them, brought them into the fold, taught them how to do this stuff for these pigs, I got a real problem with that.
Yeah, well, we all should. I mean, there's literally no justice in this country, or there's two levels of justice. With
Two
Trump
levels.
cronies, where you can get away with anything, and the Supreme Court is bought and paid for. But yet, you can round up brown people because you don't like the way they look, and you don't like that their last name ends in a vowel, and you can ship them off to some shithole where one of Trump's cronies makes money off of it. It's sick. It's disgusting, and it's maddening. And everybody that cares about justice and any kind of democracy should be up in arms. And it was great. We had the No Kings protests, but I don't know what's going on. I don't see any pushback anymore. I just think we've gotten to the point where we're so beaten down and overwhelmed by this shit. And now is the time to really double down, and we have to start pushing back now. This is outrageous. Trump is just doing everything he can to deflect and to divert attention. It's, I would bet anything that he's on that list, that he's in it up to his fucking ass.
Yes.
A lot of people are, and it's so disturbing. And, I hope that this continues to be a problem for him, if he thinks he's going to make it go away. And I don't know if their plan is to just get her to lie and say, oh, yeah, he was not on the list. No problem. Or if they're just going to disappear her.
No, I don't think so. I think
she'll give her a choice.
I think they'll support. She'll support whatever he wants to get out. It's already started. Them moving her wasn't something that was announced. It was found out through the prison system. Mm-hmm. I don't think they make her disappear. It makes them look a little bit more guilty. I think you just take her lies and you accept her lies. To your point, the No Kings was great. It was nice that everybody was on the same page for various causes, but it has faded. And if we don't jump back onto this as a priority, Trump's already reaching out to the Department of Defense to be able to use the military more openly on American soil. He wants them involved in domestic operations, less border. Currently, they're on the border and they're doing these flights to get rid of people, or however you want to say that. But he wants to get them more involved, kind of like they were during the Japanese internment camps. And since we have these camps of concentrated people, it seems pretty similar. On that note, I will say that in Alligator Alcatraz, they have people outside watching the ambulances come and go. They are having medical issues in this place. It's supposed to be so amazing that won't stand up to hurricanes. There's pretty much lawlessness down there. But what I saw today, more disturbing, was the fact that people are using their hands to get fecal matter out of the toilets because there's no water pressure down there. There's several people on a 10-day hunger strike based on the conditions. And we see people getting removed via medical services daily. Not acceptable in any country, let alone our country. I mean, it's insane.
It is insane. It's cruel and inhuman. It really is. And again, most of these people haven't done anything.
You're right.
I used the term when I first joined you guys. You have to ask the question why. And for years, we've had places, prisons, hospitals, jails, schools, all regulated by something. They may not be the J.W. Marriott, but they're regulated by something, right?
Yeah.
And if you put up something like that, anybody with any sense of intelligence is going to say, what do you think's going to happen there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're putting people in a situation where they don't want to be there. They don't deserve to be there. And it's every man for themselves. And then the conditions are not up to par. What do you expect to happen?
Sure. And then the people that are actually getting bonused at 50 grand to join, that have little to no education, but come in there with an angst against anybody that's not white, adds to that situation. There's no accountability, as we talked about on the last show, and they're free to do what they want. That's a lot of lawlessness. And if you think that the governor of Florida is going to get involved and make it right, he's a giant criminal himself.
Well, yeah. To that point, Bill, Rob, it's a license to be a bully, and it's a free pass to be a dickhead.
And that starts at the top. We saw the chief labor statistic analyst was fired yesterday because Trump didn't like the numbers. We saw that the Smithsonian was asked to remove the exhibit on impeachment because Trump didn't like it. It didn't say he was impeached. It was people that Clinton, Andrew Jackson, that were part of that process. It's part of our history. You can't just ask the Smithsonian, or we're going to take your funds away to get rid of it. But he did. So, this is comparable when you start messing with our economic numbers. It's not just about dummy America. It's about anybody that invests in this country, any foreign countries that are looking to park money. Without the Japanese taking on our debt and buying our bonds, et cetera, we don't operate the way we do. So now all of a sudden, where's the trust going to be? Why would these people believe our numbers? Because Trump said, this is impossible, she's fudging the numbers. When we know as a fact from past people in her job, it wasn't rigged. She was given the numbers 24 hours before or 48 hours before they were released. They're doing the math as they go. Trump even lies about the simplest stuff. Oh, I didn't get this information until this morning, when he truly had it the night before, forming a plan just to cut the head off the snake. Oh, it's her fault. She rigged it. She's a political hack type of thing. When the person he put in charge, William Beach, the predecessor who she came after, said how dangerous this was. You can't be fudging the numbers just because it doesn't fit your narrative. And that's exactly what he's doing. He said, everything's great. This can't be real. And let's start with it. Ground meat up 11%. Just in June, chuck roast up 8%. Round roast up 13%. Sirloin, 13%. Beef, 11%. I mean, it's insane. And you're telling me it's not, but I'm going to the store. I see what the prices are. So you can tell me how amazing things are in your world, but I don't know if that's the same case for the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. And but that's what authoritarians do. They lie right to your face. And if you don't believe it, well, you're not patriotic. But you can only get away with that for so long. People figure it out. People see the grocery bill going up. They see the utility bill growing up. They see that life is getting a lot harder. And, it's up to us now collectively to decide, what are we going to do about this? Are we going to sit back and eat this shit sandwich and just let this go on? How do we oppose this? How do we stand up to this? And honestly, I don't know. And the fact that, there is still people that are swallowing this bullshit and going along with it. And a lot of it is the legacy media. You're not seeing, there should be giant headlines. This stuff is unprecedented here.
It is.
We haven't lived through this. We've seen it. We've seen it in other places. We see it in Russia. We saw it in Nazi Germany. We saw it in Venezuela. I mean, it's nothing new. It's just new to us. And the really depressing and maddening thing is we were warned. This was an open book test, and a lot of us failed it. It spelled out exactly what was going to happen and how this was going to go down. We knew who this guy was. Unless you're among that 30% that wear the red hat and drank the Kool-Aid, we knew who this guy was and who he is.
Yeah, and still is. You're absolutely right. You mentioned Venezuela. Maduro did the same thing. He locked up all the economists that were sharing data that the country was in decline. He didn't like what they said. They went to prison. Mm-hmm. Say no more. And the rest is great. Everything's amazing here in Venezuela.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's it's a hallmark of authoritarians.
And we're seeing it from Trump down to El Salvador. Now their president's like, hey, we don't need term limits. What do we need term limits for? I'm here. Thanks, Donald. You're really making the world a safer place.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's spreading across the globe.
It's a real problem. But they're going to tell you everything's great. I mean, he said it was wonderful, whereas we've already talked about tourism. We'll probably lose about $12 billion. People are not coming here based on being rounded up on the street, or cost is just ungodly for some people. Vegas tipped workers came out and said their income has fallen more than half. Yes, they voted for this, Nevada, but this is what you get. U.S. spending on services, hotel, airfare, dining is down for 3 straight months. We haven't seen numbers like that since 2008. And I'll only add that the stock market lost $1.1 trillion yesterday in evaluation. It's the tariffs, dummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And oh, well, but we're all going to get our tariff rebate. So,
They stopped talking about that. You're not getting
Mhm.
nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. And
Well,
Josh Hawley got a talking to.
Yes.
well, again, guys, it comes down to leadership, right? I mean, we don't expect things ever to be perfect.
Sure.
There's always going to be issues. I might not like spending, spending for overpriced beef. You might not like spending overpriced or buying overpriced chicken. Billy, you might not like
Fish.
buying over. Yeah. But, you know, something's always happening. Something's always disgruntling people. And we're all about living in a world where we'll take the happiness and deal with the sadness or the anger. But at any given time, again, you look to a leader to help you cope and get you out of the messes. But we
Hmm.
don't have anybody that's getting us out of or giving us any hope that things will get better. However,
No.
it gets better, we don't know, but there's nobody there to give us hope that anything's going to get better. And we get to the point where we become apathetic and just saying, oh, that's just the way that it is. And we go about our business. But
Yeah.
everything that we're talking about has a trickle down effect. You know, if we go to a store and have to spend $7 for a pound of hamburger, how are any restaurants going to be able to do that and still have a margin for success or to make their money? So it's going to keep building and building and building, but it's up to the leader to say, you guys, we're in a tough spot. And we've talked about this before. We're in a tough spot. Stick with me. I hear you, George Bush 9/11. I hear you. And we'll, be patient and I'll take care of it. But we get nothing.
Well, I mean, we've
And
got a leader
I
that
just feel
started the
that's the biggest
fires.
problem.
Yeah. But not only do we not have a leader that helps us get out of this, we've got a leader that put us into this. This is
Well,
this
Yeah.
is where it started. This guy's not a fireman. He's an arsonist. He took a functioning economy and, people still want to complain they're brainwashed, but the Biden economy was fine. The numbers looked good. It was solid. And, under Kamala Harris, it would have continued to get better with some of the policies that she was going to pass against price gouging, student loan relief. Then you get people a chance to spend some money and put it back into the economy.
Sure.
Instead, you had someone that came in and just set fire to the whole thing. There
Because he
was no
knew
need.
that.
There's
And
no
his
need for these
sycophants
tariffs.
and his
Yeah.
sycophants say he's the best businessman ever. He trusts him. We don't need a politician. We need a businessman. We
He's
saw
been a
his
horrible businessman for decades. It's been well known.
Exactly.
He's terrible. The guy ran casinos into the ground. How do you do that? The house always wins.
It's hard to do. Well, I want to put up this visual that you can take a look at. This is the new ballroom that we talked about having built. The White House is 55,000 square feet with office and living spaces on 6 floors. This ballroom he wants to build for $200 million is 90,000 square feet on 1 floor. They'll probably use it 6 to 8 times a year. Otherwise, it'll sit empty. And it's an eyesore. What happened to the White House in this photo? Like, are you kidding me? What is this? It's crazy.
It's obscene.
Look at that thing. I don't know.
But it's like Trump, though. It's gaudy, it's obscene, it's useless. And I mean, you're talking $200 million. You've eliminated PBS. You're cutting Medicaid and Medicare. Kids are going to go hungry. You've already dumped an unlimited amount of cash into ICE to make more people miserable. And now you're going to build this eyesore for just $200 million. It's obscene.
Just
You know,
$1 billion to upgrade his free plane from Qatar, which the Republicans are already making it so Trump can take it with him. Super. As you said, $200 million for the ballroom, $65 million for him to golf so far, and $10 million to promote his new golf course in Scotland, which we just paid for. He just got back. You're right. It's a waste, but it's all wasted on him, which seems to be the harshest part of this whole equation.
Yep.
Again, you have to ask the question why.
Why?
And
Tell me, Tim, why?
There is no answer, because you mean to tell me that the beautiful White House doesn't have a ballroom already that's been used since the White House was built for the nicest, most extravagant parties ever. So it's not good enough. So again, it comes down to why. Because I guess I could say, oh, I want to go and buy, $250,000 fancy car, but I guarantee the first question that's going to come out of my wife's mouth is why.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
I just want to pop this up, not to interrupt you, but this was what the Rose Garden used to look like. And this is what the Rose Garden looks like now with those crappy pavers. I mean,
I know.
Why? To Tim's point, why? What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And again, there's been modification. Presidents over the years have made modifications to the White House because of a bad back. There's a bowling alley added. Kennedy needed a swimming pool for his back. There's been plenty of things that have been added, taken away. But guess what? You could ask the question why, and whoever was doing it would answer it. Now you ask why, and it's like, I don't know. What is the answer? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just like that's where I see the difference.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I don't. The whole focus is on him. So even if you're a giant Trump supporter, eventually, aren't you going to ask about yourself? Like, what am I getting out of this? All I'm doing is supporting this guy. I've lost my job. I've lost my health care. My kids can't go to school. Great conversation about getting them into the trades, which we all fully respect. But let them have an option. You're not even giving them the option. I mean, we talked about housing before, but we're back to that. People can't afford, on average, 60% of the U.S. Households can't afford a $300,000 home. 70% of households can't afford a $400,000 home. That's 94 million people that can't afford a $400,000 home. And I'm not saying that's not an expensive home. What I'm saying is the 80% of the remaining households that can afford that house already have it. They already own it. They're not in the market for it. So when we have numbers where more than half of the people can't even afford housing of any sort, you have a real problem. But then we're going to come up with these new laws where we're going to make a deal with the tech bros and start evaluating people's health. The executive order was to be able to take people with mental health and be forcing them into institutionalization if you have mental illness. Well, who's gauging that mental illness? We all have a touch of it. And we're just going to round up people? Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's terrifying.
It is terrifying. I mean, every American should be worried about this.
Go ahead.
This is what they did in the Soviet Union. If you were a dissident, you were sent to a mental facility and you were doped up. If you weren't sent to a gulag.
Yeah, that would be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you said it. Who doesn't have some sort of mental illness, whether it's diagnosed or not? I mean, I could probably walk down the street right now and say, he's mental, he's crazy, he's who's not? I mean, I can't remember the last time I drove anywhere where I didn't say that a person is an idiot. That's mental, right? Or, this person, what are you, stupid? That's a mental, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, you can't go anywhere without, who doesn't have some type of, then how are you going to define that? Sleep I can't go to sleep. Is that mental?
I'm glad you asked that, because at the same time of releasing this executive order, the administration is going to roll out a nationwide health surveillance system with Google, Apple, Amazon, and CVS. So they'll have your mental health, they'll have your meds, they'll have your vitals. They're going to track it all, and it's all shareable in the name of public safety. I have a heart shaped on my Apple phone, and if I want to check my steps, I can click on that app, and boom, it's right there. Now it's not just right there for me; it's right there for everybody. Oh, his heart's not quite what it should be. All of a sudden, I'm a problem. Thank God I don't go to the pharmacy, knock on wood, because they'd probably have put me away by now already. It just seems really bizarre. We talked about this decades ago. Oh, what's so bad about that? I call up Domino's. I come up on their screen and they know I like a large pepperoni, and I usually get some kind of, side salad or something. Oh, that's great. It saves time. They already know me as a customer. Now we're taking it to another degree of like your mental health, your physical health. What can you do for the president type of thing? It's just like so nothing that I was prepared for or had ever seen before, frankly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've traded away our confidential information for convenience.
And even if you didn't,
Essentially.
Doge came in and took it all anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
speaking
oh, go ahead.
Speaking of mental health, well, right before you started your statement, you said you had heart on your apple. I thought you were going to say you had a heart on your ass. So I'm just sharing, since we're talking about mental health. I automatically went to you going to say you had a heart on your ass or something. So anybody that watches this, I guess I should be afraid.
You should be very afraid, Tim.
Be very, very afraid.
It's just weird because when we talk about the public good and the safety, which we said the other day is becoming less of a concern to these guys, we're looking at herd immunity. We in 2000 we put measles to rest. It was eradicated, not a big deal. Now, starting this school year, we have 10 states that over 5% of their kindergartners are exempt from routine vaccinations. I'm not asking you to get the COVID. I'm not asking you to do swine flu. I'm saying measles, polio, diphtheria, just your basic stuff that people have been doing forever. Ask Mitch McConnell about polio, how much fun that is. They were relieved to have some kind of vaccination for it. Now we've just gotten so high on ourselves that we're going to endanger everybody because little Timmy, my kindergartner, is afraid of needles and we don't believe it. We think they're putting, wires into you and tracking you. Yes, they are tracking you, okay? And it's not through the vaccine.
It's through this.
Thank you, Uncle Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So health officials say this is a powder keg. Utah, Idaho, Oregon, they lead the pack. Our U.S. average for exemptions, 3.6%. You're just asking for it. And just as an example, COVID in every wastewater scan site in Florida is prevalent. So if you're going to Florida, wear a mask and be extra careful because we're not talking about it anymore, but it hasn't left.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
One last comment on rounding up people with mental illness. I've done a lot of work and I'm very proud of it, working with kids, teenagers that have had one form of mental illness or another, and say that there was 50 kids at any given time at any event. Every kid was a pretty damn good human being, regardless of what they were dealing with. And their parents were damn good human beings for dealing with the situation that they were dealt with or the child that they were dealing with. And we want to make a generalization that mental health is bad. It needs to be eradicated or whatever. That's pretty disturbing because, again, I've known a lot of people with mental health issues that were damn good human beings, a lot better human beings than people that don't have mental health issues.
Well, and the other day we talked about the nurses and the workers that help with people that are going through a major medical issue, whether it's cancer or, fill in the blank. To your point, the mental health we kind of pass by. These parents are in a situation where, listen, there's a test that you can take when prenatal test when a woman's pregnant to see if the child is irregular. That comes back. And if they tell you your child, let's just say, had Down syndrome, how many people would say, I want to have this child and I can deal with it?
Great point.
It's really difficult. To be perfectly honest, I don't know that I could. I feel blessed. My kids have issues, of course, not that one in particular. But when I see the parents, it's incredible to me. My worry from day 2 would be, who's going to take care of my kid when I'm dead? I mean, those kids should be supported. They should be, given as much opportunity as they can in any field that they want. We've seen it on TikTok. The kid that likes to bring his sandwich to the restaurant was driving his family crazy. I mean, it was kind of cute. But my point being, this new regime kind of feels like these people aren't worthy. They don't stack up. We got to find a job where they can just stamp it all day. This is what they're going to do. Or we had that knucklehead that said, these people will never pay taxes, RFK Jr. They're never going to get married. They'll never have relationships. I mean, what kind of outlook is that for our citizens? It's insane.
It is insane. And, there have been other regimes that have felt the same way. And, it doesn't end well. It just doesn't. It's, this is turning into a society with no empathy, no compassion, no sense of caring for anybody but yourself.
And cruelty.
You see it in the most maddening thing to me is you see it amongst these so-called religious people, these evangelicals. Empathy is a bad thing for them. It's like, I don't know a whole lot, but I don't think that's the message that Christ is giving. But go ahead and call yourself a Christian. Have at it.
And how many pastors are we seeing are doing damage to these kids? It's not the people that are transitioning that they want you to believe, or homosexuals as they want you to believe. It's your YMCA camp counselor. It's your religious studies on Sunday school person. But we won't come to that reality. We're not even going to go into the Catholic Church, Tim. But my point is, it's not who they're projecting it is, and it can be anybody. You could have it in your family. I'm just saying, it's just not right on any level that we're chastising a certain group of people based on beliefs that we find offensive.
Well, again, extremely well said and broken down by both of you, because again, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I personally thought within the last 5-10 years, we were making great progress in accepting people with mental health issues or mental health challenges, i.e. depression. For the longest time, people were afraid to say that they were depressed. Now, or we made great progress to say, if you're depressed, there's things out there that can help you and help your life and the whole bit. Now we want to go backwards. Again, I'm going to use the word, and it sounds redundant, but why? Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Well, and depression runs in families. It's not necessarily something you choose, or, I have a bad situation, I'm depressed. It's a real thing. And I think the majority of Americans know that, or have had somebody in their life that's been affected by it. And then to turn your back on them because of indifference, or we don't have the funds to get you the proper health care or the right cocktail, or even just any kind of regimen that's going to make somebody feel better. We just don't really care. We've just already put you in this category. You're a mental health issue. See ya.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It is. It's heartbreaking. It's horrifying.
I mean, it just goes back to the president, where it's like, we're just going to get rid of whatever we disagree with. The EPA, it's all about the cash. So we're going to leave the forever chemicals in our drinking water, the PFAS chemicals that cause cancer, infertility, liver damage. We don't care, because it's really cutting into our bottom line. You had a woman researcher in Louisiana that found that one of their lakes was filled with heavy metals. The next day, she was abruptly removed. We don't want that information. We don't want to know what's bad for us, because everything's amazing. It's just super.
Everything's great. Yeah, if you're a billionaire, everything's awesome.
I mean, at the same time, and this is to your point, we're blocking funding for public health programs, youth violence programs, research in preventing gun injuries and deaths, effects targeting diabetes, chronic disease, tobacco use. I mean, you would think you would want all these things to be flushed out so that we could give kids a chance. And instead, it just doesn't register.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't care. That's what it comes down to. They want to put the money into tax cuts for trillionaires and billionaires, and just doing things for themselves. They don't care about having a functioning society, filled with healthy, thriving people, especially young people. I mean, and these are the future. These, a functioning society takes care of its young people.
You're absolutely right.
That's a great point. Great point, Bill.
Well, I again think that these people think maybe they're going to live forever. I don't know. I don't know what their end game
Some of
is.
them are trying to, yeah.
But if you want to tell me that Donnie Jr. didn't have some kind of problems growing up where he was kind of an issue, whether it was smoking or fill in the blank as a youth. I mean, look at Trump. He was sent off because he was throwing rocks at the baby next door.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have been put in a little box instead of shipped off to boarding school where he could lie about his grades and then become president. I mean, he was
Lie
given the
about his
opportunity.
baseball career.
What's that?
Lie about his baseball career.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've seen him play volleyball. I've seen him play tennis. I've seen him throw a ball. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Not an athlete.
No.
All right. Well, I guess, I mean, all of that is extremely upsetting and short-sighted, but it's all for that one group of people that none of us are in. So I hope that the rest of us kind of catch on to the fact that they're doing it to all of us. You're not immune to this. We're all here together. On that note, I'm going to pop up the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which I've been yammering about for months because I find it so important. You can hate NPR. You can dislike PBS. You can call it woke, call it what you want. But the majority of us grew up on it. They only employ about 100 people. They provide funds to 1,500 local public radio and TV stations. In 1967, it was founded. It was the steward of funding for public media. We saw Mr. Rogers went on Capitol Hill, and he made a great many points where they actually kept the funding. It was super important. You know who suffers the most when you lose public television and radio is rural America. They suffer the most. Your vital alerts for environmental issues, storms, floods, wildfires, all come through generally public broadcasting. And they feel like it's not going to change their lives, but this will. And they are going away. They'll end operation within months. Most people will be laid off, actually fired. They'll have a transition group just to make sure that they do their fiduciary responsibilities till the end. But no more. And to me, it's just shocking. I wanted to put up this because many of us grew up on it. Where can I find him? And not him. It was about poison control. And in Pittsburgh, we had the Pirates, and a lot of their stuff was with the Jolly Roger. So Skull and Crossbones didn't really scare kids. They weren't too worried about it, which is we had apparently a lot of kids were poisoning themselves, and they had a high rate of death. So out came this, Mr. Yuck. 1971. Because of these alarming rates of children deaths due to poisoning, the University of Pittsburgh founded the Pittsburgh Poison Center, and they got rid of the Skull and Crossbones, the Jolly Rogers, because kids didn't associate with danger anymore, and they put up Mr. Yuck. Mr. Yuck, I mean, I still remember most of the phones would have it on it, so you could call poison control, or you just, it was a constant reminder.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I'm just talking about my generation, but my goodness, how many of these kids are watching stuff on PBS today or getting news through NPR, which is every hour on the hour type of thing, every half hour. So you can say goodbye to Nova. You can say goodbye to Tiny Desk, which I love. PBS NewsHour, Frontline, which does some amazing stuff. Sesame Street, Austin City Limits. I remember our grandfather used to make us watch that a lot. Antique Roadshow. I mean, everybody could find the next Constitution, but now all of a sudden it's in Trump's office, the real one. They hated it, that last group. They didn't want it in the office. I mean, come on, guy.
What a dummy.
Anyways, it's a giant loss. I feel it. I'm still a little bit in shock by it. The people at the corporation appreciated the letters that were written. The media definitely reached out. They made their feelings known to Congress. But again, it all comes down to what the president wants, and that's what these guys are going to follow up and do. 100 people to run this. I mean, the money just, to me, seems incidental to what they supply to our youth and to our parents. Sometimes that's a good babysitter too, so I can get some ironing done or fill in the blank, or I don't have to listen to little Timmy screaming. Sorry, I keep using Timmy, but he did fall down the well. I thought he'd be a good example, Tim. I'm at a loss for words on that one.
So you couldn't use Johnny. Johnny's usually the easy name to use when you're making references to something, but that's okay. If you want to use Timmy, that's fine. But I do think though that again, you make great points about what is happening and what has happened and is going away. But again, you have to ask the question why, and it's heartbreaking because you made the statement that it affects rural Americans the most. And guess what? Rural Americans, for all intents and purposes, is probably the lower incomes, the older generations, and what have you. And we're taking something away from them that doesn't need to be taken away. Because say that you're an 80-year-old couple that's lived in a small town your whole life, and you've had to rely on regular channels and PBS for your entertainment. And now all of a sudden that's gone. Why? Again, so you can get cable. They probably can't afford it. Mm-hmm. Or if you have, you can get Hulu or you can get whatever. Who can afford a streaming service?
Well, and they don't have, there's no Wi-Fi generally.
Exactly.
That was in the Biden infrastructure that we thought was silly. So we're not going to do that.
You're senselessly taking something away from someone that they hold dear to themselves and they value. And to your point, which is a great one, it's a pinch of nothing in terms of total costs to anything. Yeah. And we've all been in situations we've been asked to cut costs personally, professionally, whatever. But man, when you go after the pinch of nothing stuff, that's heartbreaking.
It is. And, but with these people, the cruelty is the whole point. They don't care. I mean, look at that face.
Rob, we can't hear you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was only going to say that it all goes back to who we're trying to please here. We're trying to please the president. No flies on me. Yes, there are. We are trying to appease the billionaires that we all think we're going to become one of. One example, in Texas, the AI Center is guzzling about 463 million gallons for this AI that Trump's all in on. Instead of saying, hey, you guys, maybe this is a little much for our community, they're saying, hey, residents, shower less. Can't you cut back on your showering? What?
Yeah, it's disturbing. And I had seen a report, I think it was last week, that, dude, we're running out of groundwater. We're draining the aquifers faster than they will fill. And that's a problem. People talk about, the next war is not going to be for oil. It's going to be for water. Everybody needs water, and we are running out of it. And, just last weekend, driving to the New Jersey coast through the wetlands. We need the wetlands, right? But, you and I look at it, and environmentalists and people that give a shit look at that. We need these. These have a huge function. But a developer looks at it and, makes a call to Trump and says, hey, I want to put a resort here. Let's just pave over all this. We don't need these.
Well, and he's talking to the right person because he's a developer himself. And when he talks about climate change and the sea levels rising 1/4 of an inch for more waterfront property, he's really missing the point. I will say, and I have no confirmation on this, but the money people that have the greatest to lose are researching on how much fresh water's left, where they can do it. I mean, they're aware of it. They're not going to share that with us. They don't want to be worrying about it, but it is an issue that's well known to many people. We don't care. The AI, Musk's, I forget what the name of his giant factory is in Memphis. People are getting sick around it. It's polluting the whole neighborhood by it. And we talked about this 4 months ago, that they deregulated industrial areas, which we talked about were mainly where poor people live, Black and Hispanics, and we deregulated that right off the bat. So now you're in Memphis, you have a problem, and they're like, you know what? It's really not a problem. We deregulated that. Suck it up. Wear a mask, spend less time outdoors, whatever you want. Now
Just
we're in
move.
Nashville. Tesla's got their plant. And because Musk is so amazing, they want to do a highway just for Tesla to get out to his factory. The public's paying for it. The public's not happy about it, but the hearing went on because the administrators and the people of their Congress don't care. They don't care what you have to say. You
They
voted.
really don't.
They know better. You don't. So we're going to see the redistricting in Texas went down this morning, bright and early. So they're going to gerrymander all those districts. And I think they may have finally, as a happy ending, one of them woken up California because Newsom's not messing around. You want to gain 5 seats in Texas? Well, we're going to gain 18 in California. So good luck with that. We'll redistrict the heck out of it if that's the game we want to play. And the fact of the matter is in Texas, they're underrepresenting minorities. And it's just not right. It's just not right. They live there. They pay their taxes there. And you're making them invisible except for taking their federal funds. And then what are they getting for it? They're getting nothing.
Yeah.
No environmental protection, no health protection, no educational protection, nothing. You get nothing. So I want to know what I'm paying my taxes into because I'm paying a lot more than I would like to. And I don't know what I'm getting back.
Less and less, that's for sure.
And where's it going?
It's going so people that make way more than all of us combined can pay less taxes. That's where it's going. It's going so Trump can have a $200 million ballroom. It's going so, so Musk and his fellow, tech billionaire bros can have, their own private highway to their factory and,
That's
loot
crazy.
as they want to. I mean, his little space town is going to be one of the most polluted places in Texas.
And they act like Texas is on the moon or something. Texas is right next to another state and another state, and we're all connected in some way to Texas, right? I mean, like, how am I going to avoid that eventually?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just crazy, but we should have let the South go. Should let them go after that Civil War, or just made sure that they stayed, in Reconstruction. That should have lasted a generation or two. People, like we said, people should have hung for treason. It was an insurrection. You started a civil war. And instead, you still have knuckleheads flying that stupid flag and talking about, oh, this was about states' rights. It was about heritage, not hate. No, it was about slavery. It was about your right to own people that you considered subhuman. And that just never went the fuck away. Yeah. It was on its way. It was on its way out. Reconstruction was working. But then we said, well, you know what? This is really turning into a grind. And we need these votes to get, a mediocre president elected. So, good luck with that. And here we are.
You're absolutely right. We didn't finish the job, and now it's back, and now we're putting monuments back. It's disturbing. I'm not a huge fan of Bill Maher. I think nobody really is anymore. But he did come out on his show, and we're an eighth of a term into Trump, and he's mentioned that he's trashing the EPA. He killed healthcare, billions of debt. Department of Justice has turned into a revenge machine, fired all the watchdogs, wrecked foreign policy, and he spent $150 million caging peaceful immigrants so far. And this is, I consider him a supporter of Trump, more or less, or accepting, I should say. And he's coming out with this. If it can get to him, and he's a wealthy fellow himself, I think the average American should start catching on. When your federal minimum wage is $7.25, but you go to Panera and get your turkey cheddar sandwich, it's $10.29.
Yeah, and it looks smaller than it used to.
It's tiny. I'm not saying it's not a tasty sandwich. My point is, an hour of work, you can't even afford it. It's insane.
It is insane. I mean, it's the wealth inequality now is worse than it was in pre-French Revolution France. And I don't have to tell you how that ended.
Very poorly for some.
And I think, guys, again, I've said it before on the few times that I've been part of this podcast, is that what you just said there puts things in perspective. And I think that's what people need to hear, because again, you go into Panera and get your $10 sandwich, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, it's $10. But when you put it in perspective that minimum wage is what it is, and the sandwich is $3 something higher than minimum wage, that you have to work over an hour to afford that sandwich, that's perspective that people need to hear.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's what you've been trying to do with this podcast since day one, is just give people perspective and give people other things to think about. And again, if you put things in perspective like that, it hits home. And
well, that's your lunch. What if
I'm
I've
sorry?
got kids at home and a wife? That's your lunch. You just had your
Well-
turkey sandwich for lunch. How am I feeding anybody else on my terrible salary that I might have in my life?
Well, the
Again,
people making that
great
sandwich can't afford to eat there.
Well, that's
You know,
true.
the person making your drink at Starbucks probably can't afford to get, you know, a triple venti, you know, frappuccino and a cookie.
There's no
You know.
way. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Again, Billy, great point. And it's, again, perspective that most people don't think about, but you have to think about. And when you do think about it, it's pretty damn disturbing. And if I'm sitting around and thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go to work for a little over an hour to afford a frickin' sandwich, that's perspective. And again,
I know, but our
I don't think
generation,
a lot of that myself. And that's why I like the podcast.
in our generation, Tim, you and I will be taking peanut butter and jelly to lunch. Okay. I mean, let's be realistic. I'm keeping my $10.29. The barista at Starbucks makes on average $15,000 a year. Their new CEO makes 6,666 times what they make. Not right on any level. There's no balance here at all. To Uncle Bill's point, the wealth inequality is off the charts, insane.
Yeah.
Answer your question. I'm not doing peanut butter and jelly. I'm doing bologna and ketchup. Takes too long. It takes too long to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich unless you use the squeezable stuff, and that's no good.
No, God, no. Well, you got to take some time for your nutrition. Come on, Tim. Gosh,
It's important.
bologna.
It's you know, it's got all the good fats.
And fried bologna is delicious, so I can't argue there.
That takes energy to fry it. We're not affording that now either.
Oh yeah, no,
we're not doing that.
I'm going.
Me and Uncle Bill will take the ketchup and relish packs and sit in our cold car, Soprano style.
Oh boy, nah, that's
Mix it with the relish.
Oh my gosh, that's what an episode. What great, well played, sir.
Yeah, nicely done.
Pine Barrens.
That is awesome. Interior decorator. Come on.
He was an interior decorator.
He killed 16 Czechoslovakians.
Oh boy.
His house looked like shit.
You
Well,
know,
I'm glad
they actually wrote an ending to that they never used.
which was
Well, you know, I mean, anybody who watched the show, everybody knows that, you know, the Russian guy just never turned up again. But it was going to be a situation where Christopher walked into the Tony's Russian partner, his club, and he saw the guy like mopping up, and the guy looked at him like he recognized him, but he was so brain damaged he couldn't speak, and you know, they kept him around just to mop up because they felt like they owed him. But yeah, but he had somehow made it out, but you know, couldn't say anything about what happened to him. And then David Chase is like, you know what? Just let him wonder about it.
yeah.
We're not
I think
doing
that was good because then you didn't know till the end if he was going to come back and get retribution or anything.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we can come up with references, smile, and laugh about an episode that was probably 10, 15 years old.
Yeah.
David Chase is a genius, man.
Some good stuff. Absolutely.
And for the record, I thought the ending was actually kind of brilliant.
People still talk about it today.
And when it happened, I fell for it because I got angry real quick.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and I got angry real fast. And then, you know, once I realized what had happened, I didn't like it. But the more I think about it, and this long ago, I don't mind it either. It's kind of, and when you hear David Chase explain it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. He said originally he'd written an ending where Tony gets a call to come to a meeting in the city, and they show him driving through the tunnel, and then it ends there. Like he went to that meeting and never came back. But
Hmm.
I'm glad they didn't. I like the whole members only possibility. Just a lot there. Was it the wife of the guy that wanted to move to Florida, and she Tony? I mean,
yeah, could have been.
That's awesome. I didn't hear that one. That's a good one.
Well, there's so much meat on that bone because he always wore the members only, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gave Tony a nice watch. I mean, come on now.
And a packet and
money, let him go.
A big fat envelope of money too.
That's right.
Wow.
Gave him his taste. Yeah.
Wasn't enough. So
yeah,
great show. The prequel was good too. I'd like to see them do a prequel more centered on Tony. Might be interesting. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
I hope they do at some point.
Yeah, I enjoyed the prequel, and I hate to keep talking about this and ruin your schedule here, sir, but the fact that the story of how Christopher's father got killed was not necessarily the truth. That was pretty. Again, David Chase is just a genius.
And now go watch The Sopranos, and it gives you a whole different outlook on Junior.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what a turd he was. He loved his brother. He loved his sister-in-law. He was a fucking jerk.
That's right. It's exactly right. Yeah, it was fantastic.
And everybody thought he was a joke. He was always kind of a figure of amusement. Nobody took him seriously.
Yep.
Yeah. And even getting Ray Liotta in there was awesome. I mean, was he really there? Was that a figment of his imagination? What?
Yeah, I don't know. They leave it open.
Next time we do a podcast, you come heavy.
That's right.
I like it. Well I think adding that into some of this horrendous stuff we talked about for the last 55 minutes certainly helped me to be able to walk away today and maybe enjoy some of this sunshine. I don't know about happy endings for you guys because I really didn't give you a whole lot to work with. But I am going to just put this up. It's just a number and it's my happy ending. The Steelers at their camp yesterday had 13,653 people came out to St. Vincent and Latrobe to see this.
Yeah, well, their Friday Night Lights practice, right? And they do it. It's at Latrobe High School, right? At the high school stadium. And one of the former Steelers, Ramon Foster, was talking about it today. Just saying how, and part of it is, you get on the bus like you did in high school, man. You take the bus over to the stadium with all your gear on. You're getting hot, you're getting sweaty, and you're getting ready to get out there and get after it. You've got this huge crowd of people there, and then they have fireworks after, and it's a great tradition that they do. It's a cool thing.
And I hope they stay there. There's a few teams that do go off to a place. I know Green Bay, the Packers would do it as well. People religiously go there, and if you look at the streets, the side of the street, it's packed with cars 3 hours before these guys are even scheduled to come out to practice. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I did want to say, though, that 13,653 people that attended was more than the Pirates had at 18 of their home games this season.
Don't even get me started on that team. That's just ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, they blew a nine
They were up 9-0.
Yeah.
They gave up 5 in the 9th, and they lost 17-16 to Colorado, the worst team in baseball with like 22 wins. That trade deadline gutted me on the Pirates. I'm off that.
They traded away their closer, who was one of the top 4 closers in baseball. They traded him away for nothing.
And a Pittsburgher. He didn't want to leave. He's from Pittsburgh. He's a huge fan favorite. They just don't respect the fan base. I really feel bad for the players because I would like them to be supported. But by the same token, how can you go put money into Nutting's hands by buying a ticket to go see that product when they got rid of a left-handed pitcher who's been great for them the last 2 seasons, who only cost $2.2 million because you're worried about his arbitration number the next year? Are you kidding me? Even if it was his arbitration number next year of $9 million, $9.5 million for a starting left-handed pitcher in baseball, what are you doing? I mean, how much do you got to put pocket before you put some kind of product on the field. And Pittsburgh's
Yeah.
tradition, the Pirate tradition, deserves better. And thank God Dave Parker's not looking down on this, or having
Yeah.
to watch this stuff. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, the joke around Pittsburgh is that, since the Pirates have been so shitty, that baseball season basically ends when the Steelers go to camp. So,
And rightfully so now.
yeah.
So that was my happy ending. Pittsburgh's a week away from a football game. Preseason starts. We just had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday with the Chargers. And yeah, time to move on. Sorry, Pirates. I love your heritage, but I can't stand your owner. So
But yeah,
for
the
that
owner's
reason,
terrible.
I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. Anybody else on the happy ending, Tim?
Sure. I appreciate and thank you guys for letting me be a part of this. As I said, I think, again, you guys bring it in terms of perspective. And that's really what I appreciate. And that's what America should be about, right? We don't all have to agree 100%, but we all have to respect each other's perspective.
Sure.
And by listening, you give people something to think about, educate if they need to be educated. But again, it's perspective and it's opinion, and it's a valuable one. And I appreciate being a part of it. I will say that up to 50 minutes, I was like, man, I was in a good mood, or a partial good mood so far today. And now I feel like dog shit. But I appreciate the Sopranos conversation. And I think that I do feel a little bit better about things after that little discussion. But again, I appreciate the perspective, and I appreciate listening to you guys, and I appreciate you guys including me. And I won't be like the uncle and check your cupboards for expired spices or food or anything like that.
I appreciate that. Get yourself some gabagool. You'll be fine.
Hey, forget about it.
Billy, you got anything on the happy side?
Well, just always happy to have Tim on. He brings a great
That's nice.
perspective and always does a great job. And it's always good to see him since, we haven't had, our Monday night hockey in, months, and we still have a ways to go, but always good to, see him and catch up. So much appreciate you taking the time.
And I appreciate your perspective, Tim.
Thank you, Billy. And I miss Monday. I miss you guys on Monday, but it'll be here soon enough. And then I'll be saying I'm too old for this. So
Yeah.
These guys. That one guy never shuts up.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Hey, the sun's shining. I think it's 79 degrees. So enjoy the rest of your day, fellas.
Yeah.
you guys do the same.
All right. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for the music.
Catchy.
Catchy is right.